It's Joe here, and I am going to show you the process of me converting my computer over to liquid cooling. What I have is a GTX 780 video card. We're going to be liquid cooling the GPU. Also have an Ivy Bridge Hexacore i7, and I am cooling it with an eBay kit that I bought for $165.99. And we'll first start off with getting this video card to cooperate with the liquid cooling. The first thing I did was disassemble the existing cooling unit. I used a small saw and a rat tail file to remove the part of the case. This is where actually the logo used to go. The other side of this fan shroud needs to be removed as well, which can be done with the saw. And once this is done, this will give clearance for all of our water lines to come out from the cooling block. I am using a heatsink removing solution to remove the old heatsink off the GPU. I'm also using a surface prep, which I'm putting on the block as well as the GPU. It's best to use a soft cloth when doing this. And then once this is done, we can add our heatsink compound, being sure to add only just enough to cover the GPU. You don't want to use too much, but you definitely don't want to use too little as well. I like to smooth it out, wiggle the block around, so that way it ensures that it evenly goes across the block. Then you want to add the GPU cooler block, which is what I'm doing here. And whenever you do this, you want to make sure that you use even pressure, torquing in a pattern. I'm also having to remove some material on the cover. It was has some interference with the water line, so it's aluminum, so it easily goes away with the file. I really like the old logo, so I'm using some double-sided tape to affix it to the side of the graphics card because it does look cool. I did have an old Corsair cooling system, and it was horrible. It actually failed on me, and even still, it didn't work that great when it worked. I'm removing that, putting the graphics card in, and now we're going to start working on the CPU, removing the old stuff like before, and then adding heatsink compound, trying to get that stuff to evenly go across the block, and torquing everything down evenly. Adding our cooling lines. I'm running the line from the graphics card first and then into the CPU. You can do it however you want. I just did it that way. I'm drilling holes on the side of the case and using that as a place to mount my reservoir. And I'm also using the holes for the fan, for the rear fan, to mount the brackets for the radiator. I'm just using a pipe cutter to cut the tubing, hooking the tubing up from the radiator to the graphics card, and then from the radiator, other side of the radiator, to the pump, and then from the CPU to the top of the reservoir. Fixing the fans to the case. I will probably add a second set of fans to make it a push-pull system, running the lines through an opening into the case. I'm using antifreeze that's suitable for aluminum and copper, and using that, testing everything out to make sure that I didn't fry anything and that we don't have any leaks. And then after everything was good, went ahead and overclocked the CPU and GPU and done some video rendering to put a load on it, and everything looked great.